With Scream Fortress concluding and ushering in a new time of year, we have a lot to be thankful for. This holiday season has a lot of expectations, and Smithmas has attracted extensive hype since the announcement of the Pyro victory. Regardless of what Smithmas brings and when the update is added, we still have one season left, Thanksgiving. I at least retain a minimal care for it in my heart because I share a birthday with it. In the spirit of thanks, I thought it would be only right if we give thanks to the thankless mercenaries of the battlefield, the medics. So, let's take a moment to think of our medics, and thank them by showing our support. How do you thank a medic? Well, let's find out. Thank a medic by watching his back. This is something most players have probably experienced, while others might not just understand. Medic is a surprisingly weak character for being a class all about healing. Because Ubercharge is so valuable and it cannot be retained upon death, it's extremely important that a medic knows their limits and doesn't overextend. This applies overwhelmingly to the Pocket or Protector as well. In pubs, it's just an obvious fact that not everyone will know their roles, and nor should they. But if you find yourself with a trailing medic, take extra precaution for them. Know that you're his first line of defense, but he's also yours in turn. If you feel you may be too far forward, back up and rejoin a few teammates. It never hurts to look behind you as well. Don't advance if your medic is in a precarious position. A protected medic is a happy medic. This applies to spawn camping, abandoning, and ignoring potential threats. Thank a medic by valuing his charge. By this, I don't mean using it in the most effective manner. Again, it's obvious that not all charges are game changers. Some may be used for protection, some out of anticipation, and maybe some are even accidental. But the key behind all of this is to bunker in for defense when you see his MEDIGUN approach around 80%. At this rate, you're only a few seconds out from having some sort of charge, and by no means do you want to waste it. This is not a good time to get anxious and prematurely flank, bomb, or attack. Your goal now becomes speeding that charge up and maintaining a strong, successful position. Also, just because the enemy can't hear you doesn't mean they don't know if your medic has a charge. It's a safe assumption that every medic will work up a charge before 60 seconds. If he's been alive for this time, take extra care in anticipating a full rush heading your way. Thank a medic by letting him take the lead. While this one is a strange one, it's something that I feel needs to be mentioned more often. During charges, really only applying to stock, medics will sometimes feel the need to move ahead of their patient and block incoming damage or knockback. This is not an indication to shoot blindly. The medic is directing you towards a clear target and only has around 8 seconds to complete his goal. Not that important, but still noteworthy. Thank a medic by helping him on his MEDIGUN choice. Picking a MEDIGUN isn't all about personal taste. I have a bias to use stock and shy away from the crit scree because it doesn't heal or protect in the same manner as the others. Remember, medics depend on you and your playstyle just as much as they rely on their own intuition. If you don't feel their choice is working, feel free to tell them. We're incredibly receptive because what's best for you is also inherently best for the team. Thank a medic by communicating. The medic's arsenal and health make callouts ever the more important in especially competitive play. The crossbow is a finicky weapon. Although it seems relatively easy to land a millimeter needle on a 300-pound Russian man, even the slightest twitch can destroy your accuracy. That's why it's always important to establish a means of communication. Something my soldier friend has started is literally standing still and calling arrow in a hidden corner. While this may seem ridiculous, it does two things. 1, it alerts and focuses me on where he is. 2, it allows him to stay in the battle without giving up his advantage. Communication is also obviously important if you see someone coming your way, and I feel that doesn't require much explaining. Finally, thank a medic by helping his practice. Some classes, like the Heavy and Scout, have secondaries that can heal or extinguish an endangered medic. Never forget that you have the potential to be a healer too. Just as it's important for two medics to always buff each other, so is it also important to do your part as well. Heavy's leaving sandwiches in corners is the best example that comes to mind, or even Scouts milking the enemy before a team push. Sandwich throwing is perhaps the most benevolent gesture a person can perform. In short, the best way to show your appreciation for your medic is to act like he's an extension of yourself. As medics, we have so much to thank our soldier, demo, and other friends for. But when it comes down to it, we're not in for the glory. We're just hoping to get to the first point without exploding into a million pieces. Thank a medic this week, and don't forget that his thanks is upon you in return.